Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farms. Thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you. I'm gonna wrap up the serpent power lesson and take us over to one of my favorite gods, Tahuti. My man, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune to receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. Yeah, and I'm on it. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level, of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. Right thinkers' mission or goal is to do just that. Tune in, get your lessons, implement them in your life, change your life for the better. I know it works, trust me. To know thyself, you need to do just that. A person who knows not, I asked the question, well, I know me. I asked you the question before I start. Do you know you? I'll give you the option. If you don't have the answer, it's rhetorical, you should, but if not, I can help you with that. That's my mission. That's what I do for you. Get you to know you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. We all know a bunch of them. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them why. They know what they don't know and they're willing to learn. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with hug yourself. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinker, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm about to wrap up the serpent power lesson with this concept. And this is what I saw that made me start following the Egyptian philosophy, committed concept. It's a little different here, but you see the top right there? You see the star hitting the man upside the head, and you see the falcon, the hawk sitting right there next to him. You see the legs. Okay, I'm gonna break that down for you. When I first saw that, it was called the sun and bottom, which is the supreme good, man working to be his best. In order to do that, you have to acquire knowledge from a higher source. Get the concept? And it says here, the body receives cosmic energy from the stars, while what? The soul, which is represented by the hawk, with your head on it, meaning you become conscious of who you are. And that means the legs means you're going the right way. Okay? Now, as your soul looks on, that's from the ancient Egyptian relief. Okay? That's been on the walls for a long time. I like to be done with that because that can take me into we're going to do what they call the lost books of Tahuti and the wisdom of the Caduceus. We're going to take you back to, again, breaking down the serpent power, but we're going to put it in a hopefully intelligent way that you can understand it. That's my goal. So we're going to start with the ancient Egyptian story of the lost book of Tahuti. Some of you may have heard the breakdown, but I'm going to explain to you again who Tahuti is and what it's all about. Okay? Good lesson. And this is what it looked like in the beginning. When you see that guy look like an ibis bird, or you see him in the baboon form, okay, you see him all dressed up in his regalia, or you see him always scribing. But Tahuti, I hate giving my own lessons. Let's go to the book. Okay, where we at? Okay, here we go. Start from the top. Who is Tahuti? Most people ask, who that? Calm down. I'm bringing that to you, and I love that. I like to get a question, but I'm going to answer it. No problem. Tahuti is the god whom the ancient Greeks later called Hermes. I keep telling you, the Greeks changed everybody's name. You walk into them and say, my name is Robert. They say, okay, Bob. So they got a problem with changing people's names. They're good for that. So let's go with Tahuti. Tahuti represented as a man body with the ibis head. You see, I showed you below. Now, he's the divinity that which the measuring letter, the hieroglyphic legends ascribe the creation of hieroglyphic scripture, and with it, the wisdom teachings of what? Ancient Egypt. He's considered God's mind. He's the brain child of God. He also presides over the judgment scene where what? Where the soul's deeds. You hear that? At judgment, your deeds is going to be weighed against the feather of Mayat. Okay. Now, some people tell you that him and Mayat is his counterpart. No, he ain't. He got his own girl, Sishet. Okay, she's the librarian. She's a female Tahuti, but she has her own right, another following. But right now, we talk about Tahuti. And some people misinterpret him and Mayat as a couple. No, they work simultaneously together. I break that down as we go too. And what I showed you was the forms of Tahuti. Ibis form, baboon, ibis. One scribing, one, all of them, he got something in his handwriting, so he always keep his pen and pencil with him. Sounds familiar? Tahuti is the symbol of what? Right, like that. Reasoning, logic. He's the link to what? Your higher self. Please understand this. And when the determination of the individual is to pursue divine arises in the individual, what happens? Now you have what you call the struggle. The struggle becomes what? A holy war against what? Ignorance and illusions with one's own consciousness. You're going to fight with your ego. That's the holy war within yourself. God, you. You become the devil when what? You oppose God. So the devil is manufactured by the individual who opposes God. That's the definition of the devil. He don't have existence until you bring him into existence. Moving on. He is also known as what? The ancient Egyptians as what? Tahuti, Lord of Divine Words. He's the author of the Medjugorje. And the more well-known, what's this title? He also got another title. Tahuti, 3 times great. He was known to the practitioners in the Greek and Roman period of ancient Egypt as Hermes to the Greeks, and thrice great. Hermes Trismegistus, that means Hermes thrice great. Same thing, 3 times great. As he is Lord of the what? 3 worlds. Physical, astral, casual. Okay. The Romans called him Mercury, the guy with the wings on his heel. Okay. We know him as they call him Flash now, the fast guy. But yeah. Everybody have a name for the same thing with different names. Please understand that. So let's talk about Tahuti again. You see I rock the eye. I got on right now. But you see the eye right there? But the difference is, you see that half moon under his eye? Well, Tahuti represents the moon. God put Tahuti in charge when he goes into the underworld. He put Tahuti in charge to watch over us at night. Hence, he's the moon god. Now we see him, then we got the half a moon, okay? When he got his hat on, that's the half moon, okay. But the feather that's in his head, feather my ostrich feather, okay. Now I just showed you it's 3 times. Right there, the first one with the eye, with the moon underneath it, that's the symbol for Tahuti. The second one is the actual god Tahuti. And the third guy you saw standing there, I don't think you got a good look at him, but you got Kansu. He's the son of Mut and Amun, Kansu. You see the lock on the side of his head? He got the horns. He got the sun disc. He got the staff in his hand. He got power. So he's a royal. But he's also got the prince lock, meaning he's a kid. Okay? He's the offspring. Okay? And you got the Egyptian god Kansu. I just suspended it to you. The ancient Egyptian gods, Tahuti, symbol of what? Intellect. This is why when I saw that beam coming from the star, hitting it right here, knowledge. I didn't know about no third eye. I didn't know about none of that. I just know, ooh, I'm gonna see what that's about. Okay, and that was back in what 1990 something. I've been doing it ever since. But that's where it started. Okay, I'm gonna remember that like it was yesterday. All right, here you go. But you got uh, Tahuti symbolizes intellect, and Kansu is reflection of consciousness in what time and space. When they're crescent moon, they're both crescent moon is their symbols. You see the sun disk and the crescent moon underneath it. The symbol of the crescent moon is of special importance. Why? To the Cometians and the Hindus. What's this? That's gonna come in good when I do your next lesson about Hatha Yoga, the Hindus and the Egyptians fighting. It's gonna be good. But as a symbol of the what? The reflection of the what? The sun. If you're the sidekick, you get your shine off the star, the sun. He reflects off the moon. The moon can't do its own thing. It needs to radiate light from the sun. Understand that. That's the concept. So the moon symbolizes what? Reflection of the divine consciousness, which what? Every human being can what? Achieve. As they turn what? Toward the source of life, the divine self, as symbolized how? By the sun. Okay? The sun can't be God. Okay? It had functions that it got from God. So it can't be God. Understand that? So if you're a sun worshiper, you're not worshiping God. You worship an entity of God, which is fine. If that works for you, knock yourself out. But then you got the moon. You got moon worshippers too. The moon does not, listen, the moon does not produce its own luminance. It can't shine by itself. It needs to bounce off the sun. It depends on what? The sun. I like this. Now, in the same manner, watch this. Watch the concept. The human mind, here we go, which is up here, that is human consciousness or the soul, they go together, is not self-sustaining. It can't generate by itself. It needs help. Outside source to enlighten it, to motivate it, inspire it, educate it. Sound familiar? Enlighten it. That way, it owes not only its existence, watch this, but also its continued survival to what? The presence of the sun, in essence, the spirit. That's in all of us. Can I make it any plainer? I hope you get the understanding of this. So the crescent moon symbolizes what? Waxing or increasing. It goes from here to full, back to empty. Every 14 days, every 28-day cycle. Quick lesson. Yesterday was April 1st. I have to say Happy New Year's. But what? At one time, all months was 28 days. We had 13 of them. Moving on. And Julius Caesar and Augustus decided to add day 2 and change everything around. But that's not a lesson. But that's neither here nor there. That's the truth. But that's nature. Because why? Nature works in 28-day cycles. Osiris is cut up into 14 pieces. Hint, hint. Moving on. Where you go? So now the sun, the moon owns this. Again, us as humans owe our existence to who up? God, the spirit. That put the sun there, not to the sun because it's there. Sorry about that. But the crescent moon, again, symbolizes waxing or increasing what? Spiritual knowledge, increasing purity of what? Your intellect, and the development of what? Your intuition and wisdom. Meaning once you start practicing doing the right thing, it will become a natural, okay? Muscle memory. This is accomplished how? Through all of the means. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna enlighten you, inspire, educate, motivate you by any means necessary, by any means available that who? The sage has prescribed for the practice of the yoga discipline. I got books and information so I can instruct and give you information that you can use. That's what I do for you. Devotion, study of what? The wisdom teachings of right thinking philosophy and right action along with meditation. You can't fail in life. This is the ingredient that you make your life pie with. These are the ingredients that you need to make yourself a better you and to know you. Moving on. Good segue. Sabai. S-B-A-I. Sabai. That's Tahuti. If I was going to take a title, it would probably be that one. Why? Because my teacher now reached that level of Sabai. What tells us Sabai? Glad you asked. Again, Tahuti is the god of learning, writing, mathematics, and language. Tahuti is referred to as Thoth by the Greeks. In ancient Egyptian mythology, he is what? He is the scribe of gods. He keeps track of everybody. He appears what? As the record keeper of the dead in the book of Coming Forth by Day. He is the patron of what? Learning, ultimate teacher, and of the arts. He is the inventor of writing. His wife, Sachet, gets the credit for that. They give it to him, but I know better. Watch this. He's the inventor of writing, and in what? The specific theology related to him. He is also what? Seen as the creator of the universe. Okay? He without a mother. He without parents. Sound familiar? So, Tahuti is depicted, what? As a man with what? With the head of a baboon, or the full body of a baboon, or the head of an ibis bird. That's usually the phrase you see him in. He also bears what? A pen and ink. Sometimes also in the lunar disc and the crescent moon over his head as his hat. I showed you that thing earlier. But this is what he looks like again. You see him animated in one, but you see what he's standing on? You'll always see Tahuti, the god, standing on his girl, Maya. They work together synonymously. Okay, moving on. I can't talk to you right now, bro. I'll call you back. Okay, now down here it says, I just showed you Tahuti now is the transporter, you ready? Of the word of God. Ra. He brings the magic, spiritual power, okay, to what? He brings the magic, spiritual power of who? The supreme being Ra, which will what? Heal Haru. What you talking about? I'm getting there. The story goes, when Haru and Set were fighting, Haru got his eyes gouged out. Tahuti came and repaired him with spiritual knowledge to heal the eye. That's what they're telling you, but that's a quick story. Moving on. Watch this. Now, the reason why every anthropomorphic concept that we show for gods, we're using that animal's gift that God can master and then emulate. Watch this. The ibis is a wading bird related to what? The stork or the heron. The choice of what? This ibis bird indicates why they choose them, because it has a unique feature or a quality which what? Spiritual learning requires. And what's that? This quality is related to the wading nature of the ibis. He got skinny legs but wet feet. Where? Watch this. Wading means what? Walking in through a substance such as water, and that offers what? Resistance. With skinny legs, he can just move on through the water, okay? And impedes or makes movement difficult, but not for the ibis bird. That's what Tahuti represents. Ain't nothing hard for him. Why? He take care of business. He know. Tahuti represents intellect. My first student nickname is Djehuti for a reason. When I met him, I already knew he was a thinker. He was an intellectual person. That's why I gave that name. First students are grasshoppers. Graduated students will be Djehuti. Okay? You can't get no higher honor than that. Understand that, my dude. Watch this. Now, the reason why they use Djehuti represents intellect, and that comes from the mind and its capacity to what? Cut or wade through what? The myriad of thoughts and concepts. We call it the water, the ocean of consciousness. A lot of people can't control their thoughts. Well, I just have bad stuff come to mind. I can't control the thoughts. Meditation help you with that. That's why when you sit, quiet yourself, certain things will take place for you. And watch this. When you have it learns how to work through the thoughts and the concepts in order to get to the truth. I got to keep going. Now they got to sign the crescent moon. The crescent moon symbol of Djehuti is a figure of the moon, and it's what? It's first quarter. First quarter. If it's 1 quarter, you got 4 quarters. So within the month, you're going to get 4 cycles to make it full. It has a concave and convex edges terminating what? In points. Each one have a point. Now the crescent moon symbol signifies what? Growing or increasing in understanding, reasoning, and your spiritual wisdom. By what? Living virtuous and righteous on a day-to-day basis. You start to learn and acquire certain things. So therefore, Djehuti is what? The embodiment of knowledge. This is one of the reasons, watch this, why he is said to have what? Created writing. He is also what? The messenger of Ra, who brings the special word. In the beginning, there was the word. Djehuti said that was him. The special word of power to Aset, who got the word from Ra. In the Asari resurrection story, yeah, she wanted the truth. Story, what happened? In order for Aset to resurrect Haru, in this aspect, the symbolizes the spiritual preceptor who what? Who brings wisdom of who? The divine self to who? You, the aspirant, so that you can what? Resurrect his or her spiritual aspiration to be your best self. And here's a picture of him sitting on a pillar of a facade. You see him sitting on top of there? You see him sitting on top of the J pillow? That's what they call it. The 4 levels of consciousness, that's from 4 to 7. That's where your higher consciousness is waiting for you to get there. Djehuti is sitting there. That's what you're going to meet. That's what they're trying to get you to understand. Hope you understand this. You see above, you got Djehuti sitting in the form of the baboon, sitting atop the pillar of Asar. The universe is understood to be like what? An ocean of matter through which Ra sails in his barge in order to sustain creation. On that boat in the daytime, he only needs Djehuti and Maya. Okay? Now, creation. Djehuti is Ra's mind, the cosmic mind, the all, the absolute, which Ra moves through the ocean of creation. Thus, the universe is known as what? An ocean of consciousness called the Nu or the Noon. Okay? The spirit, which is Ra, uses what? His cosmic mind, Djehuti, to what? Create the objects and the various forms of creation and maintain order in creation. That's where Maya comes in, that order. She represents order. So therefore, matter, which is creation, is in reality what? Consciousness, aka primeval ocean, which has taken on forms, physical objects, in accordance with what? With the will of the cosmic mind, Djehuti. The cosmic mind also, watch this, that's why he's responsible for education. The cosmic mind also brings forth learning and knowledge to creation through what? The arts. 7 liberal arts. I'm going to break that down for you too. Science and language. Nothing is invented by human beings. We just here, passing through. Somebody said we just suspect on this a grain of sand out there on the beach somewhere. That's how important we are as an individual. But as the individual with a conscience, you wake up and realize you're not just a puny human being. You're God. Understand that what? In the flesh. With knowledge and understanding of who you are, you can pull that off. Where we at? I put a pin in. Okay, watch this. So, but we haven't done nothing here. Okay, this is all illusionary. But everything that is created, watch this, by civilization comes from what? The cosmic mind. All is mental. I get excited. And not from any individual human being. Bam. Why? Now to believe otherwise is what would be ridiculous, no, egoistical thoughts. If you believe other than what the truth is, that's the ego. Refusing to give in. And it will fight to the end. It ain't going to adhere to nothing until it just absolutely, I positively have to. That's an ignorant person mentality. That's ego. We know a bunch of them. Those who believe, those who don't know and believe they know, that ego will run them and they ain't going to give in to nothing. Moving on. That's just the concept. I want to break it down for you. Hope you understand that. The more a person, watch this, is in tune with what his or her cosmic mind, higher self, the more knowledge he or she can what? Obtain. I told you, a lot of us are subjective. Most religious people are subjected to what matches their religious beliefs and concepts. That's fine. But if you was objective, you will open up your ears and hear the truth. And you won't be so, well, You listen, you hear, reflect, meditate, and see if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, fine. If it makes sense, if it's contrary to what you was told, what you believe, you gotta make that decision for yourself. So watch this. When you're objective, you can obtain, and the more inner peace and fulfillment you as a person can experience for yourself. Subjective people have no peace of mind. Why? They're not going to let the truth in. They don't know the truth. They believe they do. That's why you have to avoid them. The further away, watch this, the ignorant people are, they get from the cosmic mind using their own, what did it tell you? Lean not onto your own understanding. Hello? Cosmic mind. That's God. But further you get from your cosmic mind through what? Negative thoughts and actions, ignorance and delusions, the less you are able as a person to what? Discover goodness, righteous, inner peace, self-knowledge, happiness, and health in life. 9 times out of 10, you got bad health, bad relationship, bad situation, everything going around. You're like, you want to hear, oh God, but you ain't did nothing in the way of appeasing God just so that he would help you out. Live right, do right, all those things just seem to disappear. Trust me. Wrap it up. Moving on. Djehuti is what? The quintessential image of the Sabbath, which is what? A spiritual preceptor. Call me Djehuti. Now, in this story, the word Sabbath is a commission term meaning what? Spiritual preceptor. A teacher of what? Spiritual truth. Now, I tell you, I teach that. They telling you that's what I do. A spiritual preceptor is a sage, okay, who shows what? Others. I do what I do for you. I done did it for me already. Now I can help you. That's what I do. Now, the sage who shows others what? The way to understand the higher reality beyond the ordinary phenomenal universe. I want you to know God for yourself. And you'll know thyself. Wrapping it up, taking it home. He or she shows how to what? Discover your true identity and realize your oneness with who? The divine. In essence, he is your spiritual guide. I'm here to guide you to you. How about that? It don't get no better than that. But right now, I'm going to close out on this. I'm going to write it out. I got to write it out. Sorry about that, but let's go. Now, I'm doing my job. I'm just trying to get the message. I got some more for you right here. In the beginning, the spiritual preceptor must what? Help all individuals to somehow turn what? Their anguish, their pain, sorrow, and suffering experiences as a result of what? Interaction with the world into a desire to what? Rise above it. Do better. Be better. I'm practicing to be my best self every day. So I'm putting my best foot forward and doing what I need to do to make that possible. To this end, a series of techniques and disciplines have been developed over 1,000 years ago. I love this. Some of these methods are myths, parables, mental disciplines, meditation, and physical culture, aka yoga exercises to develop the development of what? Your internal life force. The teacher needs to help you, the seeker student, to what? Restructure. I'm telling you, change your life. Restructure and channel those negative energies which arose from what? Disappointment and ignorance, frustration into what? A healthy dispassion. Let it go. Move on for what? The illusionariness of the world and its entanglement. You have to get out of the physical nonsense. The teacher, I'm going to show you the way to what? Develop your spiritual aspirations and your self-effort, which you got to put the work in. Directed at what? Sustaining a valuable personal spiritual program. We call it Shita. Okay, she taught never a concept that you, a moral discipline code, spiritual discipline that you live by, that you govern yourself by. We call it Mayat also. Now, in ancient Egyptian mythology, there's two great spiritual preceptors. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Djehuti is one of them. He is the wonderful teacher of Djehuti. The other one is Aset. She taught Asar of the story of Asar and Aset Hadhu. Otherwise, she's known as what is known as the Sovereign Resurrection story. That's what I teach. That's what I master. Aset is the teacher to who? To who? Her son, Haru. Women, y'all the original first teachers from birth. Yeah, y'all good. But what she did when he turned of age at 7, she turned him over to the elders to teach him how to be a man. They still protected him, but she had gave him everything he needed. They took it from there. Women, you can't, the concept I'm trying to say, women can't make men, okay? She trains him, watch this, in the arts of science and the mystical philosophy of creation, teaching him what I'm teaching y'all, and the nature of the divine self. Again, same thing. She enables Haru, which is you, to receive what? Divine vision, which she obtained from who? Ra, in the story of Ra and Aset. I told you how she got the word. She became powerful. Now, a spiritual perceptive is not only a person who's obtained high levels of internal self-discovery, knowing myself, and purity, but also a person who is well-versed in scripture, writings, and has knowledge of the parables, I gave them too, and the myths, I gave them too, along with their mystical implication. I have my own experience. I can share that with you why I've had it, so I know. I'm not speaking from the book and what somebody said. No, I got my own experience to use. That's what right thinking philosophy is unique, and it's all about me, what I experienced. He or she, watch this, also knows the practices which lead a person to spiritual evolution, aka enlightenment. They called it yoga discipline. I call it right thinking philosophy. If the teaching is given directly, it may be what? If the teachings is given directly, it may be misunderstood or even repudiated altogether due to what? The state of the mind of what? That individual. Again, if they don't know and believe and think that they know, leave them alone. That's the person they're talking about right there. Hence, the student must be what? Properly initiated, willing into the teachings, and the proper relationship must be established between teacher and student. When you tune in, you're a student. I'm teaching. I got you. All you got to do is tune in and take the lessons as they come. I'm going to end the lesson right here because I see the clock running. I hate to run so long, but the information, I'm going to be back real quick. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 miles a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you would pass away. I'm chomping at the bit, but I got to go. I'll be back.